What's up, nerds? Welcome to NGR Radio B-Sides. Remember, you can find B-Sides every Thursday at noon Eastern time. If you can't get enough of us on Monday, you can get us on Thursday as well. Here on youtube.com/NGR Radio. And I know a lot of people have been requesting us to put B-Sides on the podcast feed. But no, it's staying here for now.
Word.
Yeah. I didn't know people were
subscribe to listen.
I mean, you know, we got to make it do some work.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
We gotta make our channels viable.
You know, youtube.com/NGR Radio is not a long URL.
It's really not. No, it's really not. In fact, it's a very concise. It states what it is.
Yeah. In fact, you can just hit the subscribe button, and then it emails you when our show goes live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you just click in your email and be like, "Oh yeah, B-Sides. It's noon.
Welcome to the future."
Or 9 o'clock if you're on the West Coast.
Damn West Coast people.
I know. Right?
Don't be that way, Moose.
No, it's those Central Mountain Time people that are just.
Well, that's true. No. Fuck Central. Fuck Mountain Time. Am I right?
But anyways, we have a good B-side for you this week.
We do. We do.
The studio behind the very popular indie title Firewatch, Campo Santo, has been purchased by Valve. Discuss. We've been talking about Valve way more on this show the last 3 or 4 weeks than I thought maybe we ever would.
Then maybe we needed to.
I guess, look, we talked about since they might be making games again,
Oh no, they are making games again because Gabe Newell, he spoke to PC Gamer and was like, "Woohoo, we're releasing games again." Or was that somebody else's take? I don't know. But
I don't know. That was a pretty good take, Matt.
I
did like it. It was pretty. It was. Yeah.
I'm not doing it again because I feel like I'm just going to disrespect all parties involved. Okay, Moose, have you play Firewatch at all? Did you actually play it? Okay. Corey, you?
Nope.
Okay. As the one person who played it and loved it,
I hear there's a turtle in that game. Find a turtle. You be its friend. As you're walking through the woods from the scary ghost people.
You done?
No.
Is it like the World Turtle from Stephen King novels?
Yeah. Stephen King actually was the inspiration for Firewatch.
That doesn't surprise me.
Fun fact.
Okay.
Fun, real non-fact.
All right. Stop. We're not doing this anymore. So Firewatch is developed. I think it was predominantly written by Sean Vanneman. If anybody listens
Stephen King's nephew.
No. By the way. If anybody listens to the Idle Thumbs podcast or anything on their network, a lot of those individuals are involved with Campo Santo, and all of them have a very strong pedigree. A couple of them worked on BioShock 2. I believe Nick Brecken was a writer at Telltale who released the highly acclaimed Walking Dead Season 1. Jake Rodkin, I think, also worked at either Telltale or Double Fine. They come from these guys have worked with some people and have worked in quality environments, and their podcast actually discusses when they talk about a game they're playing, they talk about the design and they get really into it, but they don't really get super cerebral and out there to where you can't follow what they're doing. And I respect them for that. And that's how I heard about Firewatch. So I'm these guys are writing and making Firewatch. I will play their game as long as I'm able to. I was fortunate enough to be able to play it on PS4 because they released it there. I'm looking forward to In the Valley of the Gods because clearly these guys know their way around a story, not to mention a video game story. And, they make sure we could level Walking Simulator at it. which is a dumb way to go, but Firewatch was one of my favorite games of the year when it came out, and I still stand behind it. And I feel like
2015, right?
Yeah, I feel like these guys, given time, they will release probably some of the better games of a generation, and one of theirs might actually end up being influential to a point that we refer back to it in a while. What does Valve buying them mean? When Phillips brought this to our attention in Moose's and my Facebook chat, Moose kind of did his one-line hot take thing where he's like, no more games ever. And then I looked at the story and I'm like, oh, they're still going to basically operate as they're doing. Like, because
they'll probably be their own thing, and Valve will just
and I think
being associated with them.
Yeah, and I feel like Valve is probably doing. They're probably doing like a Sony thing, right? Where they basically pick up like an Insomniac or a Naughty Dog and just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like, if they want to start making games again, like maybe they just want to publish and kind of feel some stuff out. And Campo Santo is a great developer that will make them, it'll be worth their investment to publish the games. Plus, like, it'll allow Campo Santo to kind of realize their vision for their next game fully because they've got the backing of Valve now.
Yeah.
And that'll also help with marketing and resources, and they can Valve can pump some resources into them if they need help or more time, or I think it's good both ways, but I think it helps Campo Santo more because it's not going to be an EA or an Activision situation where Valve isn't going to rush their game out. Valve isn't going to make them rush their game out and be something that they're not proud of. And
they'll allow them time to develop what they need to develop.
Yeah, and that makes me even more excited for Valley of the Gods because, like, I'm gonna get Firewatch eventually when it's on sale, or I know they're kind of rebuilding it from the ground up for Switch, or I do intend on playing it. I haven't had the time, and God of War's out right now, and last year we got swamped with so many good games that I just couldn't keep up with any of them anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, Firewatch is one of those games that I intend on going to, and Valley of the Gods I think is going to be that much better because they've got the marketing budget, they've got the development budget now, they've got all kinds of resources, and it just makes me excited. Honestly. And it benefits Valve too because, like, now they have a team that can make games, and maybe Valve will learn from them a little bit and say, oh, well, we used to specialize in storytelling and we kind of revolutionized the first person storytelling genre in a way with Half-Life. Most people seem to think, I've never played Half-Life. I can't speak on that myself, but like, that maybe they want to get back to that, and maybe it's kind of like, oh, we've lost our ways. Maybe if we hire someone who tells good stories, we can kind of find our way back to that, and maybe future projects will borrow writers from that team to help write the next Half-Life or the next Portal or the next new whatever Valve is trying to do.
Well, and what I think the more telling parts of the more telling aspects of this story actually come from Campo Santo's blog post. I think it was Sean Vanneman that wrote it, but he was saying that, like, idle thumbs will still be idle thumbs. Their quarterly review that they do will still be it. Like, they could still basically operate as they have been, without an excessive amount of oversight. I think this is just what I'm taking from it. I could be a tad bit off base. After all, I'm not in the industry, but I feel like this is a cool thing, and it's a cool opportunity for a talented group of individuals, from Rodkin and Remo's ability to design, and Remo's music specifically, Vanneman's storytelling, Ollie Moss's artwork, and the entire Campo Santo team that released one stellar game 2 years ago.
What fantastic art too, by the way.
I could not be happier for this group of people. I mean, I've been an Idle Thumbs listener for a very long time. I generally try and say, hey, if people ask me what video game podcasts I should listen to, I go through a bunch, and at least now I can say, hey, listen to NGR. But like Idle Thumbs is definitely one of them. I like their strategy podcast that they put out called 3 Moves Ahead, because they talk about, breaking down strategy games and games I don't really play, and it's a nice thing to think about and learn from, despite not really getting involved. They're cool people, and I want cool people to have good opportunities to succeed. Benny Blanco states it means Half-Life 3. I feel like the next couple episodes of Idle Thumbs will probably be inundated with Half-Life 3 talk. I kind of hope it doesn't mean Half-Life 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the time where Half-Life 3 could be this amazing piece of history is gone. I don't think Half-Life 3 will never ever live up to the potential of what that game, like what fans want that game to be. It's the same as what Final Fantasy 15 was. It's the same as what Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be. It's the same as all these games, that the Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's the same as that, where like these games have been talked about in development and rumored for so long at some point, and then in development, and then it finally comes out, and it's just not it's not as great as people wanted it to be. Not that those games are bad by any stretch of the imagination, but like, I don't know if Half-Life 3 will ever live up to the standards, just because like we have so many great first-person storytelling games now. You look at Wolfenstein, what Bethesda's doing in that space. You look at some of these walking simulators like Gone Home, mm-hmm. and even Firewatch, like they kind of have a footing in there, and I just don't think that Half-Life 3 will ever be what fans want it to be. Well,
I kind of feel like Valve with Half-Life 3, they probably had an idea that they wanted to release it at a time where it could change things. And I feel like after Half-Life 2, shooters and games in general started changing at a very, very fast pace. And they're probably waiting for that right moment to be incisive and drop it in there. But as you see, we talked, right before, probably in the years leading up to PUBG, like people are like, well, shooters are, Call of Duty's dying, blah, 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 and then PUBG happens, and Fortnite happens. I also want to, Moose brought to my attention something that Matt Phillips said in our Facebook chat, because he can't watch on YouTube for some reason.
No, he can. He just can't log into the chat.
Oh, he just can't log in? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the irony is that Firewatch got review bombed on Steam after they filed a DMCA claim against PewDiePie after he was racist again. I think that I don't know if that's ironic, because a guy like PewDiePie
is a bitch.
Well, I'm not. I think he's not a great character. He's probably. I don't think he's as bad as Logan Paul. I don't think Ninja is as bad as he is, but if you don't understand, if you don't understand the gravity of shit that you do when you have millions of followers, I don't think I don't think that's anybody's fault but yours. And I think it is completely within Campo Santo's right to choose whether or not to be associated with you. And that's that. And that I feel like they said, okay, this is a way we can choose who we associate with. Now is that going to stop PewDiePie from playing Firewatch? No. But it's them saying, we don't agree with this asshole. Right. And that's it. Like that's just, I mean, it's not like you're either with us or against us. They're saying, we don't like this. And that's fine. They could stop me from streaming tomorrow and whatever. I would be like, all right. I would probably try and make amends, be like, what did I do, Campo Santo? I got nothing but love for you, and I try to.
You're not a racist, so
I'm not a racist, and try and be a decent guy. What did I do apart from just be stupid on the internet?
That might be it right there.
I mean, fair.
I mean, just fair.
Hey, you know what? This podcast was built on stupidity. Okay.
We built this. No, I'm not doing that. No, not
built this podcast.
Okay, thank you, Corey. You saved it.
We built this podcast on stupidity.
Phillips is he's saying he fully agrees with Campo Santo on what they did. He just meant that a lot of Steam players banded against them, and now Valve owns them. So and that's the funny part.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's hilarious. But at the same time, like, I don't really think Steam players banded against them. I think PewDiePie sent his soldiers out and said, "Hey,
probably did that.
Yeah. These guys don't like that I'm racist. Why? Do
Was that your
something to
Swedish
them."
accent?
I don't know how to do a Swedish accent. I'm not going to pretend.
Is he Swedish?
I was actually, yeah, he is actually. Well, he's Scandinavian. I don't know though. I don't know if it's Sweden, Finland.
It's all the
Norwegian.
same.
No, it's not the same. Bjork would have something to say to you.
It's all.
But look, I for one happy Campo Santo will live for a while and hopefully be successful, and I wish them all the best. The best part about this, in their blog post, they were at some point they were at IGN and they saw IGN's Game of the Year award to Valve that was undeliverable. It was a bottle of champagne. They stole it, drank it, and now they can actually bring it to Valve. I think that's hilarious. Like, if anything, that is why this story is a winner, because of some bullshit like that. And on top of that, I want that developer to be successful. It's very much like how Moose has a complete homer for like Devolver Digital or From Software, like I do. We want the ones we love to be successful, and I wish them all of that and more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to see that, like, I mean, they're one of the bigger indie studios, I would say, like, in terms of popularity and the games that they develop. But, like, it's cool to see someone besides the fans appreciate their art and appreciate them as a studio, and I know you just said that, but, like,
yeah, I
think it's cool too to see, like, hey, look at what they did. Look at how they changed the landscape of indie games. And it's cool that, someone like Valve recognized that and said, hey, we'll help you. We want you under our umbrella, I guess.
We want you in our dome.
Join us in the Steam room.
You don't have to do what we say. Just hang out in our dome with us. Be our cool neighbor,
Yeah. And Corey, I mean, even though you and I are kind of echoing each other, I also think it's important to recognize how Campo Santo focuses on the game writing space, like with their quarterly review. Like it's them curating writers that they like and publishing their work in a way that can get out specifically to their to people that are interested and followers of them. They also do Idle Thumbs game jams every so often. So like clearly they're trying to find ways to get people out there and get people creating. And I feel like that's important. Considering how insurmountable just the mere prospect of creating a game can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to throw out the platitude. You could do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. Well, yeah, you can, but that doesn't mean it's not fucking difficult. I mean,
right.
It doesn't mean it's not a super painful, soul-crushing thing at times. And I think that, anybody who's really cared about anything can understand that. And I think all of us can at some point.
Yeah.
So, I think, Nerds Gone Rogue, we wish Campo Santo all the best and more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Can't wait for that new game.
Matthew Keel and personally will continue to play their games. I will rebuy Firewatch once it comes out on Switch, and I will play it with my girlfriend because I want her to see that story. And I keep telling her she should, and I never do it because
she can play it for trophies on PS4.
I know. I told her it's a pretty easy platinum now that she has a PSN ID.
Wait, it has a platinum? I thought it didn't have one.
It does. I believe it does.
I don't think it does.
Okay. Well, it's easy 100%.
Okay, that's right.
Whatever. I'm just gonna talk in mumbles now. Also, I went to Iowa. My sister bought me this dumb shirt. I think it's funny.
Cool.
I like it.
I knew y'all'd be happy.
Hey, it's your home, man. What's your home?
I mean, to be fair, I have an Ohio one that's just like it. So
no, you don't.
Kelly wears a North Carolina one. I don't.
Because you come from the land of steak and cheese.
Well, yeah.
And hey, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right?
Uh-huh.
Nova won the title again. Huh?
Yeah, but
something to be proud about.
It is.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's
all right.
In the house.
The Browns had the perfect season.
Yeah.
They still had the perfect season.
They had a perfect donut.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat a donut. Donuts are good.
I haven't had a donut in a while.
Donuts are a good time.
I like the chocolate ones with like the chocolate icing on top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes
you're just doing it right.
Sometimes feeling real fancy. You get the ones with the sprinkles on top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, duh. Actually, when I went home, we had donuts. We had donuts one day, and do you guys know what a long john is?
I've heard of it.
It's like it's basically like a donut, but it's like a long, and it's cream filled. Oh, like people out here don't get long johns right, but back home they do long johns right. It was nice. Okay, so I think that's a B-side. What do you say, Corey?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to talk about being home some more?
Nah.
And your long john?
I mean, I could.
I don't even know what any of that means anyway, but that's fine. Yeah, we can do B-side. That's fine.
Okay.
We're done. We're out. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so much for watching NGR Radio B-Sides every Thursday, noon Eastern. Check out Nerds Gone Rogue podcast every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. Coming soon to Spotify. Got the notification from their PR people or whatever.
Hell yes.
It's going to take about a week from now, which by the time you hear this, it might be up already.
This show will be live. Well, no, that's Nerds Gone Rogue will be live. This will be a week and a half.
Yeah. Yes. What Matt said.
Sure.
So, like, subscribe, and share. It's just that little red button. Just click it. Just click it. And until next time, we love you.
B-side Nana and out.
No upward inflection?
I'm pointing to the subscribe button, I think. I don't know.
It's
Moose, say your thing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
That was not very enthusiastic.
No,
I need you to be more enthusiastic about that, Moose.
Do more cocaine.
I was trying to read Philip's comment. I'm sorry.
Cocaine.